Good afternoon. Seems to be an afternoon type of week. Just pulling into Grand Forks here. So spent the night at home. Worked out pretty good. One concern I always have is when I don't sleep on location is how many other trucks are going to scoop me, and I'm going to be like 5 trucks down the line. I'll be sitting there forever. Pulled into the yard 7:05 and I was the only truck there. It's like, yes! A couple trucks pulled in behind me, but I know they opened a little before 7, so they might have loaded a couple of small trucks or something, but there was nobody when I pulled in to Kelowna. Took 2 hours and 20 minutes to load because it's a jigsaw puzzle. 3 different drops. First drop is in Castlegar, second drop is in Trail, and third drop is in Nelson. And no, I could not switch those around. The load is loaded in a way that I have to unload them in that order for the load to be, well, first we don't have to unload the whole thing to just get the, basically the first stop is on top. And of course if I unloaded at a different location, the weights would be all wrong. So you have to think about the weights every load will have after it's unloaded, and my stop order. What order makes the most sense? You would think it'd make more sense to start on one end and go to the other, but Castlegar, Trail, Nelson makes the most sense because the first town I'm going to be hitting down this road is Castlegar. So there's a good chance of getting unloaded today at Castlegar. There's a small chance of getting unloaded in Trail today, but I doubt it. And then we'll head to Nelson to get the last unload. Probably Trail and Nelson tomorrow morning. Hopefully I get the first one off. I should get there around 3 p.m. So hopefully I can get at least one load off. Trying to think where that load is. Okay, gonna have to imagine I've got 2 lifts coming off the front trailer, and then the back half of the rear trailer is coming off at the first stop. Part of the load is tarped. Have to think of that too. It's like when building it, what is going to be tarped, and basically I don't want to have to tarp twice. Where that blue truck there is, it's hard to get back on the highway around this corner here. I'm not sure what direction. Yeah, he wants to go the opposite direction as we are going. Hard to get on the highway. Just a busy road here and hard to get going up around that corner for some reason. Always sucks when I'm in that situation. So if there's an opportunity to make that driver's life easier, I take the opportunity to do that. Alright, pickup. Not sure what world it's okay to cut off a big rig, but course, nobody parks here during the winter to run across the street to go to A&W, but people park on this narrow little, well, maybe there's some marks in there. People park on this narrow little shoulder. Big rigs park here and run across the street to get A&W. It's like, I don't think that's safe. No, not big rigs. Oh, there's 2 trucks in here. It's a home hardware we deliver to every now and then as well. Definitely tight quarters getting in and out of that one. Today's been a nice day. Highway 33 near Big White was just solid, compact snow. Definitely just slightly on the slippery side. Had to be a little careful. I'm not sure what's going on with my kidney though. It feels like someone punched me in the side. So I'm going to be careful. Oh, poor guy walking down the sidewalk there. Slippery section. Ah, there's a fellow Sutco driver. Interfor. You don't load it in Interfor very often. Once in a while. Wondering if you load it here in Grand Forks or load it in Castlegar. Be interesting to see if the logging truck in front of us turns off here or goes over the Paulson. Not sure what you're doing, little car, but Happy 50s Diner is open, but you rarely see a lot of cars there. Like, I'm always nervous about a restaurant where you never see vehicles. I like old diners, but I want to see a bunch of vehicles there. Because if the locals all come to a certain restaurant, you know it's good food. So I think I saw 2 cars in the yard. It's 12:40. So that time of day, the parking lot should be full, right? So it says something about the restaurant. Maybe the food's great. I don't know. It just makes me nervous. All right, you're turning off here. Yep. Okay. I will increase my speed, go wide. This river floods in spring quite often as well. Oh, was it two springs ago? It really flooded really bad. Maybe it was 2 or 3. Spot's on. Spot's going. Is it not showing up on your app? Huh. You might have to log into the website. You can't? No, we won't lose cell service for quite a while. Okay. the sun. Spot is GPS tracker we use, so I guess for some reason it's not recording. Yeah, it's definitely flashing that. It's good. Oh yeah, there's a mountain sheep up there. Just one of them. Oh, there's a group of them? I only saw one of them. Just saying that there's a big rock slide by Headley along Highway 3. It's way behind us, but we came past there yesterday. Closed the road. It's now open, one lane alternating. Flashing lights for some reason. Not sure why, but we'll keep our eyes peeled. Another Septo driver.
Hey Juan, you got a little bit of CBS doing roadside checks up by the information center there.
Oh, awesome, thanks. I was seeing guys were flashing their lights, so I wasn't sure what was going on.
Yeah, there's 4 CBS units there. At the moment, they're full with 3 logging trucks anyway, so.
Well, hopefully if they have a full house, they won't bother pulling me in. That's why people are flashing me. Oh, there's a little pullout ahead. We've stepped in that pullout ahead. It's just a couple of corners here, so. I don't know, it doesn't bother me if they pull me in. I won't make any of my deliveries today. It'll be about 2 hours most of the time. It's been over a year since I've had an inspection, so yeah, if they pull me in, they pull me in. I've got nothing to hide. I'm running legal. They'll find a couple of defects. Probably find a defect that I didn't find. They're pretty in-depth. They do spend 2 hours doing basically a full pre-trip. I spent 15 minutes doing a pre-trip, so the chances of them finding something that I don't find are there. But their job is for us to enforce us to be safe on the road, right? So I always say that CBSE and us drivers, we work together to make the road safe. supposed to come before that pullout. We'll see. So you said they had 3 logging trucks in there? Maybe they're focusing on logging trucks. Often when they set up over here is they're trying to get local drivers that never come past the scale, right? Christina Lake.
It's interesting that it's set up a midway scale.
Yeah, there's midway scale. They could have, sometimes they set up there when they want to do these and they can weigh you right away. Here they can't weigh you. Here they're pretty much going, visually they're going offload secure. Logging trucks, famous for having bark hanging loose, and bark could do a lot of damage to a car's windshield, so I think it's right over this hill here somewhere. There should be that pullout. Getting close anyway. Brake lights. Oh yeah, they're doing a full, slowing us all down. Cones on the middle of the road. Looks like they're doing trucks both directions. Only one truck in there right now, so there's a good chance of pulling me in. Wave to them. I recognize some of them. And we don't get pulled in. Only one logging truck in there right now, so might be focused on logging trucks. Date today? February 12th? February 12th. So, yeah, it'll be interesting what we do on this weekend. If we're gonna have a short run or a long run. So far, it's an easy week.
Should really need
Yeah, it's nice to have a relaxing week. Going home during the week, yeah, I don't know, it just felt good. Felt good. A little pullout over here too. You could sleep in here, especially if you didn't make it to the scale or the border crossing by midnight. Got to sleep here until the border opens in the morning. I was just thinking for Spot, if your dad can't, maybe you should log out, re-log in and reset it, see if that makes a difference. Yeah, if you guys ever want to track us on Spot, it's easy enough to do. Just go on Patreon, we'll give you a code. You can stalk us if you want. See exactly where we are. Just don't actually follow me in real world and find me, track me down. Just because I'm always in private property yards and stuff like that. Not if I was in personal space free in the open at a truck stop and I had time, I would have no problem meeting people. If you do run into me in real world and I'm out and about and not loading or unloading, feel free to come and say hi. I have no problem with that. Just think safety. And if I'm not around, the curtains are closed, I'm sleeping, don't bother me. You will not get a friendly me. What's that proverb? If you want to go bless your neighbor by, I forget exactly what it was, but go work your neighbor's field. You're gonna go help your neighbor. Let's make it to snow. You're gonna help your neighbor and you're gonna go shovel his driveway. It's a blessing. You're helping out your neighbor. But if you're doing it at 2 a.m., it's not a blessing, it's a curse. So timing. Timing is it's all about timing. Yes, I hear rattles too. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just a rattle. There it is. Found it for you. It's back. I think it's literally a piece of paper hitting like a clothespin. That's how quiet it is. And she finds it. It's okay. You can be that picky. I don't know, it just doesn't bother me, so it's always funny to me. For the record, the International is one of the quieter trucks out there. When we're running a Kenworth, it's likely going to be a little louder and more vibrations. Banging your pots and pans together at 2 a.m. wouldn't go over well. It would annoy me, yes. You got that right, yep. Yeah, this is accurate. You speak truth. Grader's going. Christina Lake, partly frozen over. There's some pretty cool patterns in that lake. So I got a feeling that the snow, when it snowed, the snow got pushed by the wind, and there's some sweet looking patterns in that. That is just amazing. I need to stop and take a picture of that. I can't stop and take a picture of that, but if I had the capability of it, that would be worth a stop. That was unique. Didn't look natural. I have no way of explaining how that looked. It looks like the lake has zebra stripes on it. Just white on white stripes. But like zebra stripes. And they were in different pattern waves and stuff. That was kind of cool. Never seen a lake with zebra stripes before. Jess is laughing away. She thinks I've gone off the deep end. Well, maybe I have. I'm out of water again. What's that? I've only got one left in the fridge. I better top off the water. Priority is get this delivery done. Well, it's a lot of paperwork. Just do Mitchell's. You've written all the order numbers on the top already for Mitchell's? Yes. So maybe just do how many bundles altogether are going to Mitchell's. What's that? Because we have no time. They want the paperwork usually before they unload at Mitchell's. Do it at the brake check. Typewriter. Actually, that'd be interesting if we could set up a stand where a laptop can sit on, pull it out. You know, like the police have the laptops that sit or solid, or like on a RAM mount. You could put a mount on the passenger side so you could sit on the laptop while we're driving. Printers in the back, hit print. Yeah, heck of a lot of ink printing out every single work order, but well, you could just have a couple of copies and then get to sign both copies. More ink. And then of course they need the inventory number or the invoice number, so that wouldn't work because it has to be a unique invoice number. That would be the killer of that. But it's a good idea. I like it.
You made it up.
I made it up, and that's you want no credit for this? work out really well. We're at half a tank of fuel right now. Unload at Mitchell's, drive down to Trail, maybe get lucky, get unloaded there, and then either tomorrow or today evening drive up to Salmo, fuel up at Salmo, head to Nelson, and this might be really good timing. If we can get 2 loads unloaded today, it'd be spectacular. What's the look for? Oh, you're gonna play 2 dots. I think I got her addicted to this little silly phone game, 2 dots. It's hard, it gets really hard. I shoot climbing the Paulson in this direction very often. I might make it a long video, but I think we'll record at least till the brake check. Maybe. We'll see how long the video gets, but I rarely record us climbing this hill this direction. Quite often the other direction, but this direction we're usually driving in the dark, so. Or directly into the sunshine, one or the other. I don't have a super heavy load on, so it'll be a little quicker than normal up here, but still slow once we get to the steep sections. Bonanza Pass. We just call it the Paulson. Other people call it Paulson Blueberry. Before this highway, people remember there was no highway here, and to get from Castlegar to Grand Forks, you literally had to drive into the US, across the border. I don't know if the train still ran back along here back in those days, but right now we're kind of following the train track till the bridge. After the bridge we don't follow the train track any further. Which makes me wonder why they didn't build a highway where the train track went. It would have been less of a pass that way, maybe. So the train stayed down lower. But it would have come in on the north end of Castlegar instead. squeaking. Yeah, it's a new one. It's coming from behind me. I would say it's a toaster oven. That's what I would say. And something squeaking at the toaster oven. It could be the coat hanger we've added. It's not on there. Okay, never mind. It's not the coat hanger. Merge on in. This road's got so many places where the road stays in the shade for most of the day. It can get some really slippery sections in those shady areas. Today it's looking pretty decent. I'm seeing a lot of animal, excuse me, a lot of animal tracks in the snow. Must be deer. Can't ever think of remembering any other animals down this way. But there's definitely a lot of tracks. That's over here, just over there, that one area, there was lots of animal tracks. See the train track up on the right hand side of the valley here. You really have to look for it. There's just a couple of spots here and there where you see where there's could be a roadway. Turn that radio down. I hear what the chatters. I always leave the radio. It passes. I like to know what's going on. I want to know. Comfy. She's stretched out. She's turned her back on me. As long as she's comfy, she can turn her back on me. Just got that kind of angle, right? You got to shift in the seat. She's got the capability of shifting a little more than me, but I stretch and brake checks and stuff. Huh? Yeah, you get out too, yeah. I'm saying that's my only opportunity to stretch. closer to being even with the train track. When we go over the big blue bridge, the train track actually is right at the bottom of that valley. Way, 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 way down. So we got a lot of climbing to do still. So when we loaded this load, we've loaded the full order for the Castlegar drop, the full order for the Nelson drop, but only part of the order for the trail drop. So we try to get as much of the trail order on top of these trailers as we could. Well, they're not in the top, they're in the middle, without going overweight. And another truck is going to come and pick up the rest of the order that I didn't pick up. Near to the bridge. I was going to say near to the top, but top's still a little way away. We're going up at about 38 kilometers per hour. With a full load, we usually do 25-ish. So yeah, we are lighter. Only because the back trailer has so much insulation on it. It's a heavy load, but the insulation needed space. Watching the mirrors. You want to keep an eye on when those cars come blasting by. You want to be ready for them. And whenever you're climbing a hill this slow, pay attention to my mirrors more than normal. And I'm watching my mirrors all the time. I don't get surprised by cars coming behind me very often. You've got to be going over the speed limit by quite a bit to surprise me. There we go. There's actually a steeper section than this after the bridge. We're so we'll slow down a little more than we were here. But I see the bridge in the background there. I don't know if you guys can see it through the trees. This is the last chain up area for this mountain. For this climb. At this point, the railroad is way down below us. Going up the hill there on the left hand side is a detour route that goes, it looks like it goes up there. It does go up, but then it goes way down to the bottom of the valley, goes to the railroad, and comes up on the other side. Basically it bypasses this bridge. One of those two pickups is burning a lot of oil. Watch for icicle bombs over here this time of year if it's melting. Those frozen waterfalls can let go. Yeah, he didn't have muffled Jake brakes. It sounded like there's something wrong with them for Jake brakes too. It wasn't a regular Jake brake sound. Sign said, entering Kootenai boundary. I like how dry the road is here right now. So much better than last week. This is nice. Almost to the top. So this next corner, that's the steepest section on this pass. Right as we get around that corner, that next part of the climb is the steepest section. If the road is equally slippery and you're going to spin out somewhere, it's going to be that corner. Always sucks when you've made it almost to the top and then you spin out. It seems like the steepest section is the wettest section too. So at night it's still going to be sketchy coming up this steep section here. Try to keep one wheel on the driest section if you can. Although up this way there's no dry section. Yeah, if this freezes solid overnight, not much you can do here. And I lose all power. Just feel all the power draining out of the truck. "25 kilometers. Doesn't help that I've got a sick turbo. Still boosting lots of air in there, but it's definitely has a little less power. You can feel the difference. And then right about where that yellow sign is, where it gets a little bit less steep again. Yeah, I don't want to come over here at night right now. Man, this road will be slippery if it freezes. Okay, we should be getting some power back now. Come on. I'm not gaining any speed though. Well, I've gained 2 kilometers per kilometer, so I'm starting to gain speed. There we go. I'm definitely feeling it now. "28. I know I'm excited over 3 kilometers. You can feel the difference. Definitely can feel the difference between the power where you have that steepest section. Seeing a snowball here and there rolling down, that's kind of cool. Gotta do the paperclip turn here at the end. Oh, here comes another big rig, must be empty, because he's blasting up this hill. Jess has magic powers. You thumped something on your side and something behind me fell. It's like, use the force. Use the force, Jess. Use the force. Feel the force. One little poofy cloud up there. I'll take it. After yesterday driving in that dreary day, it was beautiful, but it was definitely dreary. We met up with our friend in Princeton, and I told him whoever gets to Princeton last has to buy ice cream. And unfortunately, we got stuck in construction for a while. The game was definitely rigged that he would get there last, and it didn't turn out that way. I ended up buying the ice cream. It's pretty funny. Saying he was more motivated once I told him there was free ice cream if he beat me. It's time to go. Portion of the trip is done. Get some speed now, we won't lose much time, so maybe we'll get there around 2:30. Being a little bit lighter made a big difference, so he must be sleeping or something because I don't see him around. I'm not a fan of sleeping at brake checks. We've done it once, only because we had to. We were at hours. If I knew I'd be out of hours at this brake check, I would stop at the summit. There's a pull out there, and I would sleep there instead. Because I don't want all night long trucks hard on their Jake brakes, coming in hard and then accelerating out. That's just not a good place to sleep. I can sleep next to railroads, but it's usually traffic going by, consistent sound. When you got trucks heavy in the engine brakes, that's going to wake me up. When we get to the brake check, I'll grab the camera, walk around the load quickly and show you the unique looking load we have. I won't do the brake check, but maybe I'll say what we do in a brake check. I won't do the brake check on camera because it's just hard to do it with when you're holding a camera. rattle? Is that what you're sniffing about? Oh no, she's got to heard another rattle. It does feel narrow with all the snow here. The road doesn't feel this narrow in the summer. It feels very narrow. Oncoming traffic is on the line. I'm squeezing you, pickup truck, but I need to. I don't want to run into the snowbank. See, right up here is a little pullout. If I knew I was going to be at hours, I would sleep in there. Wish the brake check was nearer to the top here, because the brake check's a little way down. You gain a little bit of speed here. You always got to be careful not to come in too quick here, especially in the winter. That's brake check can. They don't do a very good job of cleaning brake checks sometimes, so they can be very slippery. Doesn't look too bad. It's compact snow, but not too bad. For some reason, there's a little pile of wood chips there. What's that? Well, it's too small for a chip driver trying to lose weight. It seems too small for that. I'll get Jess to punch in brake check in here, please. I had to say the please, I had to look. It's like, what are you asking me? That way I can jump out and show you the load. Why am I getting tickled? Tickle, tickle, tickle. Under attack for no reason. Yeah, she's dirty. She's dirty. It's that type of day. Make sure I always clean the headlights just before it gets dark out, because there are no headlights. So the front, almost like a bit of a triangle till here, to the light, is my last unload. Everything on the bottom center here is my second unload. The two lifts up here are my first unload. Everything under the tarp is part of the last unload. And then everything behind the tarp is my first unload. So it's one of those unique loads. So when we do a brake check, we thump the tires. We'll also clear the rear lights out. So we'll thump the tires with a hammer. I'll touch the hub, make sure there's nothing overheating. I'll touch the tire, make sure one tire is not hotter than the other. I'm gonna look at, can I point right in there is a 90-degree angle. That bar, we look at that bar to make sure that's 90 degrees. If it's not 90 degrees, something has gone wrong. We'll also touch all the straps, make sure the straps are good. So when we do a brake check, we don't actually crawl under the truck and look at the actual brake pads. You do that on the pre-trip. If you did that on your pre-trip, you would know that the brake pods were at a 90-degree angle. If all of a sudden they're no longer at a 90-degree angle, something has gone wrong. A brake pod has failed. But that's it. I'm gonna go grab my hammer, go do that brake check. So thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. He was definitely working hard. That was loud. You guys rock.